all starting over.
Okay, good.
Okay, I'm going to get everybody back in here. Okay, we've got Annette, Beth, Barb, Fran, Rainey. Mine still shows that she's connecting to audio. And Veronika, it shows that she's in here. And she's logged in from Germany. So we're not sure what her connection
Rainey says she can't get audio.
Somehow that's whenever you sign in. And I don't know.
Maybe she didn't click on it. And Olivia got kicked off. I told her to do it again.
Yeah, I think we all got kicked off. What is your recommendation? Okay. All right. Well, that's technology. Sometimes they get kicked off. So joining us is Beth. She's a friend of mine from Newton, Kansas. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Hear you and see you.
This is the first time I've done Zoom, so I'm a little new.
So up in your upper right-hand corner, usually there's a gallery view, and that will allow you to see everybody else. Do you see us?
Yes, I do.
Mark, can you reconnect this for me? And then Mark is my technical assistant, and he is going to get my phone hooked back up because that way you can see my pages. And I'm still showing that Rainey is here. She just can't hear us, or we can't hear her. Veronika, can you hear us? Okay, now my phone is there. So can you see my pages?
Yes.
So what I was saying, anytime you do a download of any of the templates, that you can play around with different colors. You can print those on yellow or pink or whatever, probably something light so you would still be able to do it. But I love this one from Veronika because she printed it out on yellow and it just gives you an immediate different look to it. Okay, do you guys know about chat? There's a chat on the other side. You open up your chat and there's a little box. Veronika is going to participate with us from there. She says, hello, everyone. I can hear you, but my microphone is not working. Okay. So she's just going to eavesdrop in on us, and I'm going to show her pages and talk about her a little bit. Like I was saying earlier, is she found out about Bible quilting and she gifted one to her mom, and we went through the whole process of how do you get one mailed all the way to Germany, and then we got her started also. And we've just had a really sweet correspondence back and forth. So she's kind of become my Germany pen pal. And whenever I ask for people if they wanted to kind of adopt a month and run us through that, she wanted to do April. And we started out with resurrection, redemption, and she found so many verses on both of those that we just decided to do 30 days of resurrection for this April. And then I think she put in her bucket list another 30 days for redemption. So we might pull that in at some other time. So that's what we have going on with the monthly. And how many of you guys are doing the monthly? I think Barb said she is, and Annette. So I just got I'm trying to hold it over here. I just got my flip cards cut and started those the other day. And I'm just really simply, I'm not dolling it up very much at all. I'm just writing out the whole verse on those cards. And then that just gives me familiarity with those verses. And then whenever I convert it over to my page for the 30 days that I have in here, then I've already spent some time with that verse, and then of course I might not have enough room on my template for that, and then that's when I think we talked about that last week of using those little ellipses to to skip some of those words, but always put the reference in there, and then you can go back and look at the main word. Does that make sense?
May
Yeah.
I ask a question?
Yes.
What do you do on your, we have the 30 days of resurrection, but what do you do on your monthly page? This
That is
is the
kind of, yeah, I see. Yeah, that's kind of up to you. I put that in there because those are some templates that I already had, and you can decide, you know, each month kind of has its own little flavor. So it could be spring or Easter. I just started mine yesterday, and this is what I have so far. I'm not sure where I'm going to go with it. I'm using the same color palette on that side. This is a passage from Hebrews 12. Okay, it says that Rainy's going to come in there. Did your screens all change?
Yes.
Mine
Yeah.
did too. Because now I see a Fran.
I can see some people on the side, but I've got a big, as the Zoom, looks like the Zoom homepage.
Yes.
Rainy is sharing. It said Rainy is sharing her screen. So if she can hear, I don't know if there's where you're at on that, but at the bottom on mine, it did show share your screen with everybody.
Yes.
So you might have she might have
It
accidentally.
says you're viewing Rainy's screen.
I'm viewing Rainy's screen. Well, how do I get to see our screen again? Do we know?
So Rainy, if you can hear us, put us on gallery view so we can see all of the faces. Because right now, if we're seeing Rainy, so we're all looking at Fran. And it says view options. I don't know. We're just going to keep going. Can you guys still see my phone page?
Yes,
Okay.
I
So
can't.
I can. If you can't, just on where you're showing the gallery on the side, there's a single one. There's just 4 different ones. So if you hit the multi one, then you should be able to see 6 of us in the page.
Oh, I see it.
you know what my screen is doing is whenever somebody is talking, that is showing up big on the screen.
Yeah, that would be the viewers. That one is the
But
second dot up there.
Yeah, I
Ah.
thought that was because we were seeing what Rainy was seeing.
That's why we're all on the side. Or maybe you're
Because
small.
she has hers on the side.
But if you do the third one, then it just shows a strip down the side.
Yes.
If you do the fourth one that looks like 9 boxes, it'll show a few boxes, and I have your page on there too.
Okay, because I don't see my page on there anymore. I see you, because I think it's whenever whoever's talking, maybe it highlights it out to the big. So anyway, so the cross one for me is I am just going to fill in verses around that, and it probably will be different than what I'm using for the 30 days of resurrection, just because I want to just expand on that and really focus on verses that have to do with the cross. So we'll see. In a few weeks, that may look totally different.
Okay, Diana, right there, you can see where the arrow is. That would get you up at the top. That would get you the multiple, more than one screen.
Yeah, I've got a whole lot going on my screen right now.
Me too.
Sharing content. Yeah, I think we're still seeing Rainy's.
Yeah.
Rainy, you are very much with us here in spirit. Oh, there we go.
So,
Yay. Does that
And
look
can you
normal
let
for everybody else?
Can you let Olivia back in?
And-
She's waiting.
Yes, let's get Olivia in. So her mom's name is Allison. Okay,
Allison.
yay. You know, we just never know what this is going to be like. Okay, so where were we? Did that answer your question, Barb, about the cross?
Yes, it did. I was just going to show you that this was my March because I thought instead of being lucky, I was blessed. So I did all the blessed verses that I could find.
I like that.
I just didn't know what to do about April. So anyway, I just wondered what you did. I
Yeah,
don't always do what you do, but I try to do. I get lots of ideas from you. Yes.
Well, and I think if we continue to do like each monthly theme, like 30 Days of Resurrection, we're all doing that the same. But those templates that are in there attached to that month, everybody can kind of do whatever they want with that. And I often don't know what I'm going to do until I flip to that page. And then, I have usually been praying about it, and it just all of a sudden I have a topic and I start filling it in. So
I have to say, when I do this, I don't. It's pleasing. This sounds crazy, but it's pleasing to look at the artwork, the colors, and the verses, and all that. But it's also I read them more than I would ordinarily, because I sit next to my chair where I spend a lot of time, and it just blesses me so much to keep putting those scriptures into my day. And so I just want to thank you. It was a wonderful idea.
I'm glad. Fran?
Can I ask a question? I don't have the monthly pages, so can I get the resurrection page?
So the 30 days is just the 30-day template.
Okay, and that's on the website?
That's on the website, or you can pop by and get it.
Okay.
And then what she's referring to, I have the cross template tucked in there next to the 30-day. So she's showing hers. That's what I have.
That's beautiful.
So when I set up the monthly, I used the templates I already had for 30 and 31 days. And then I just tucked some of those. I just paired like the cross with April, and if I had a particular theme, like there's a big sunshine one for one of the summer months.
Okay.
But all of those templates that are in the monthly are on the website, and you can do it yourself if you want to do like a 3-ring binder and just print those out. Yeah, see, there's the sun, and that is that August? I forget, something like that.
Yes.
So I paired it up a little bit, but I don't have something a topic in mind for that particular template.
Okay.
So we might all end up doing the same, or we might end up doing them
That's
different.
what I didn't realize, was that you were just putting a template in there extra.
Yes.
And where was that? Maybe I don't have the right journal for it.
Fran, you have the regular journal.
Yeah. This is the month by month one.
Oh yeah, I don't have that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I printed it out rather than buying the whole thing.
Yeah.
That was kind of my question. I have the old journal.
Yes, because you're a veteran. Yeah.
So-
So do you even have the printed version, or that was back in our duct tape cover and personalize it days?
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah.
So how does that work?
Printed, and this version of it, because everybody ends up starting with the fruits of the spirit. Here, let me put it down here.
Yeah,
Okay. Got better.
Yeah.
But it still has the instructions, but I went ahead and I did an intro to the fruits of the spirit, and then there's a little title for each of them.
Oh, that's nice.
And then I left it really open. Like I didn't add the stitch lines to that, and it'll take you all the way through self-control. And then I added some templates in there, like prayer, and then I carried this baseball stitch over to the next page so you could do a spread. And I figure if somebody kind of works their way through this first part of the book, then they're ready for some of those blank pages that come afterward. And in the back, we have the tabs for the fruits of the spirit. And then I just put some blank ones in there. And then these are just basically, I call them like my hope and faith. They're tag tabs. And then Beth, when I got this printed, I had them do a little stand. So it'll stand up.
I like that.
And I'm always having to remind people when they're doing a page to start at the top, so that you can display it like that. And then for the monthly, because it is, I set it up purposely to be bigger, the 8.5 by 11. If you have any kind of a plate stand or recipe book stand, that will hold it. And then you can turn it to that page, whatever you want to look at throughout the day. Or if you've done one for Easter and you want that to be just kind of part of your backdrop, you can have that. So this is one that I am setting up for Mark. I might have to take the ribbons off whenever I give it to him, but he's going to Baylor. So I'm going to do my Baylor gold colors in there. And then I'm just going to show you, I don't know if it's better to show you here or hold it up in front of my face. So then all of those little tabs are tucked in there.
Really cool.
And then again, we were talking about being able to print things on different color paper. So I just used some parchment paper for these tags, and I'm just gonna hole punch the end of it and have a little bit of I use baker's twine here. And I had that idea for the tag just because it looked a little different, but Mark in particular, he likes to fidget with things. So that just gives you a little fidget. And when you look at it on the side, you'll immediately know where that section is because of those ties. And then all of this time at home, I don't know why, I've just had all kinds of ideas. So I started, is that working for anybody else? Are you getting more time to be creative and you just get in a flow with it? So the other day, now I did not freehand this, but I've had this idea for a while, that verse, he's holding us in the palm of his hand. Oh, I'm gonna let Rainey back in. There we go. So I thought of that, and I'm gonna make that available online and just with the hand. And then I went ahead and I added some stitch marks to it, because some people just really like having that structure. And that way, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces for verses. And for those that want to plan ahead, they might pick 5 verses to put there. And then I did this yesterday. I've got all of these little loose pictures of the boys from my mother-in-law and my mom, because I got all of their stuff. So, they have all of these pictures of the boys that are loose. And I just thought this was one of the really cute pictures of Mark when he was learning to ride his bike and just really being reliant on us. And so that just paired nicely with, we need to be reliant on God and, allow him to hold us in the palm of his hand.
Can you hold that one up?
Yeah. So this would be great. You could do this
That's great. I love that.
for every kid, every grandkid.
Every grandchild, yes.
And then I've been experimenting with this. I had multiple colors of stickers, and I didn't like that. So whenever I get to go out shopping again, I might, find something that'll do that. And I think I'm going to do one for a page for each of my boys. And I don't know. So just getting all kinds of ideas. So then I borrowed that hand picture and just adapted it. And then I'm going to do this one. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So this one could be used for that song of He's Got the Whole World in His Hands, just keeps going through my head. So I'm probably going to do one version of that, but then also just using, go into the world and, the Great Commission verse. And because Mark, again, this is his, and I'm thinking about it kind of through his lens. And I just know realistically he's not going to sit down and Bible quilt all these pages, but I'm inviting him to color some of the tabs, color some of the titles. Probably I'll have him color that, and then occasionally he might add some of his verses, or I'll ask him what some of his favorites are. And at this point, he's thinking about going to medical school and doing Doctors Without Borders, something similar to that. So this just seemed to fit him nicely.
It's perfect for us for a pandemic. I mean,
Yes, that too. And I think that's where I was coming at it, because I have a friend that is struggling, and then we're all struggling, and just gives us something, to positive to focus on. So
before we run out of time, Olivia worked really hard on her community page. Can she show it?
yes, show and tell is always good.
Oh, that's good.
Ooh.
Yay.
I'm so proud of her.
Yes. Oh, and at the bottom it says
Together.
together. I love it.
Down there, so then I took her idea.
Yeah, I can't hear her very well. Does anybody else have any questions? I'm not sure where we're at on our time. Usually it tells me when I've got about 5 minutes. We'll see. Okay, somebody last week asked me about some music pages. So I did one with the music stanza. Is it easier if I showed up here?
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just kind of plain. And then I did this one
Oh, love that one.
that added the stitch line. So again, all you have to do is start plopping them in there. And this is kind of the way my brain works. So yeah, this week is the letter of the week is M. And so this is my M page that I did. And I just added a little bit of a music verse. And then I created those templates. And I thought, well, I'm just going to do the back and do the whole thing. M is for music. So that's going to be a template too.
That's
So
so
now
good.
you would have, if you want to do anything on music, you would have those three. And I think these would work really well as a spread. And you could even, I've got some old hymnals, and I'll take little strips of those and put them in there. Because sometimes with printed text, you can get a whole lot more words on there than you can writing, because we just need that space to make it legible.
Well, and if you have a hymnal that you don't want to rip up, you can even just photocopy or scan those and copy those too. Because that's what I do for my hymnals, because I want to have them still.
Right.
So that it's not the old touchy paper, but it's still, you can still keep the original.
Right. Well, and sometimes you want to use the songs on both sides of the page. So you might use one original, but you copy it so you can use that song on the back side.
Is there a way to make it smaller when you copy it?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, if you're doing a flat copier, then you just reduce the size of it.
Okay.
Because if you want to orient it on your page, you don't have the dimension there to do that. So shrinking it down is a good way to manage that. Or you can always, turn it sideways, but a hymnal is probably going to take up the majority of that page.
Right.
I may have heard the beep for the time, so I don't know if that's what the beep was, just to let you know. So
Okay, yeah, usually it tells me, and it has not.
okay.
So again, if we get cut off abruptly, it's been lovely having you here. If not, we'll just keep going as long as it lets us.
That's great.
Okay, does anybody have any other specific questions or pages you'd like to share?
I've colored this one. I hadn't had it colored when I posted it, so there's that one.
Yes,
I like that.
I love it.
I started to, and then I colored too dark, so then I erased it. But then when we were sitting here, I decided to try again. So
Yes, there's a whole lot of try and try again.
You were talking about old hymns. I love old hymns, and so I did one of just kind of my favorite old hymns. I don't know if you can see it, but
yes, pretty.
Oh, I love it.
Awesome.
I serve a risen Savior.
but instead of verses, I just did the old hymns that.
And you made it look like a stained glass window, the way it blocked out there. I love it.
I tried to. Anyway, that was fun. It was fun to do hymns instead of verses, just to do something different.
Yeah.
Could you post that on our Facebook page so we can look at it better?
Oh yeah, I could. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Very pretty.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Good idea, Fran. Anybody else? Show and tell? Don't be shy. Rainey, do you know that there is a chat feature on the side? So you can go down to the bottom where you have those little controls and click on chat. Since we're not able to hear you, you might be able to join us that way.
And I can't see her. Can you see her?
She shows up on mine. I have Rainey and I have Veronika.
Her name does, but not her face.
Right.
Yeah. So that tells me that they're plugged in and they can probably hear us, but for some reason, we're not able to hear them. And it's not that they're on mute or anything. There's just some kind of connection. But Veronika was able to do the chat, so Rainey might be able to figure that out and at least say hi before we get cut off. We'll see. Technology, it's kind of a double-edged sword, isn't it? It allows us to be here, but then we spend a lot of time talking about it and how we're going to manage it.
I still am very grateful for it. I mean, it's just neat to have this resource at this time.
I'm so grateful for it. It's really helped me a lot.
And you know, for the longest time, I have had people say, why don't you do an online Bible quilt session? And I'm like, no, I don't, I don't want to learn something else. And I don't want to sit there and talk to people because they were saying like do a Facebook Live. And that's very, very much dependent on whoever's hosting it to keep talking. And I like this because we can have that interaction. Oh, and here's Rainey. She says, I can see y'all, but I cannot hear. So hi, Rainey. Did you guys know you can wave? Go down to reactions on your little bar. Let's all give her thumbs up. And then Veronika says, I have no webcam yet, and I have to work on my technique right now. So that might be her her technical issues. So I would imagine that she's able to see the chat. Everybody can write her a little message and say hi in there. Oops. And I keep calling her Veronika. It may be the German pronunciation that is Veronika. And she can see and hear us very well. So I am glad to have her here, at least in that regard. So how's everybody doing putting on tabs? You have the template putting in there figured out?
I feel like I'm just playing catch up and we keep starting new things. So I'm just like, I was working on the fruit of the spirit. So I got 2 pages done on that. I don't know if you can see. Can you see that?
Yeah, just hold it up a little bit closer.
Okay.
Oh, you're doing awesome.
And then I did the back of that. So
yes.
Wait, what page is that?
Back it up just a little bit. I see Holy Spirit.
You don't have this page, honey. You need to do it. Remember we talked about you doing it in your ABCs so you could pick a letter for each fruit.
Yeah. Well, and Fran, you did one the other day based on something that you listened to that we did in Tulsa. The Rise Up.
I'm sorry.
Okay, that may be Rainy again.
No,
so kind of like how Beth was saying that she can use a hymnal and use words from a song on a page. That's what Fran did the other day. There was a local, I guess it was statewide, wasn't it, Annette? Just about the coronavirus. It was called Rise Up, and she took notes on it and had all the scriptures and made a page on it.
Oh, I guess I missed that.
Here it is. If you didn't hear it, you should go back and listen to it because it was just wonderful. It was pastors from all across the state just giving us hope and praying about one specific part of what's going on. So these are all the verses that they used.
That's great. If you could send me the link or something, or is it just Rise Up Oklahoma or what?
Let hope rise.
Okay.
Yeah, and that I think I saw it on a Facebook feed. So that might be another way that you can find it.
Okay,
And
cool.
that's our governor that asked for that and organized it. I mean, how lucky are we to have a governor that would do that?
That's
Really?
awesome.
That is awesome. Hey, you all, I have to leave, but it was so nice meeting you all, and I'm going to do this again.
Bye,
Nice
Beth.
meeting you.
Glad. It's good to see you, Beth. I'm sorry that our Newton session got canceled, but I mean,
No.
kind of life outside of our houses all got
Yeah.
canceled.
It did.
So
It did.
we'll have a lot of postponed things to come down the way to look forward to.
Yeah. Okay. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Jumping in. Okay, so we've got 8 minutes left. So I think whenever we got cut off earlier, we got to start over. So
Yeah.
So too.
now I know how to work the system a little bit. Olivia, do you have any other questions?
Well, I'm gonna work on my
It's got a glare.
I think I'm gonna work on my F page on my ABC journal. Do you have any Bible verses that you'd recommend?
For what letter?
F.
F. Let me see what I have in here for F.
Faith, with anything about faith?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And the fruits of the spirit.
Forever.
Father.
Free gift. I've got this one from Proverbs 17:9, foster love.
That would be a good one for you since your name is Foster.
There you go. The Lord will fight for you. You need only be still. That's in Exodus. And then I've started the back of this one. This is a verse from Romans. Can you see that? Keep your spiritual fervor. You want me to hold it up?
Sure. Oh, that's a good one.
So those little Scrabble tiles were something that I got as a download, and I printed them out, and then so I'm just cutting them out by letter and being able to spell. So I love that type of thing for titles instead of stickers, because sometimes it's hard to get the stickers all straight. Did I tell you my secret? If I'm doing stickers, I know that I'm not going to get it straight, so I'll purposefully just put them at different angles.
Yeah.
A great
That way
idea.
you don't have the frustration of, well, I meant it to be straight, but it's not. Did you have something else, Fran?
No, I'm just kind of learning as I go. I make a mistake on every page, but I'm figuring out ways to hide it.
That's just part of the learning process, and we're all going to make mistakes. So we can cover it up with washi tape, or sometimes you just, maybe you're going to doodle around it and make that same doodle somewhere else, and that way it looks a little intentional.
I use some jewels.
Yes, the little
Great.
jewels. Annette, did you have anything else you wanted to share?
No, I have my heart page if I can find it real quick.
Okay.
And there's that side,
Yeah.
and then the other side is right there, and it just is all heart.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, it has heart somewhere in it. And then this I just used because I did mess up pretty big, or put the verse on there twice, I think. So I used cardstock to cover it up.
Yeah, that's a great tip too, is if you just feel really bad about something that you do on there, just put it on another piece of paper and cover the whole thing up. And if it's not a page in sequence, you can also just pull that page out and start fresh on the next, and cut out the stuff that you do like and put it on another page. So there aren't any particular hard and fast rules. And Fran, you don't have to keep up with all my ideas either, because once I get going on ideas, I'm in all these different ways. So go at your own pace and figure out, okay, I just want to work on, this particular thing right now, because I've got my fingers in all these different areas. And
Right.
so.
Okay.
And that's me. I mean, not with just Bible quilting. I mean, I do have a whole list of ones I need to put in my ABCs, but the creative stuff, I mean, I've started 20 projects. So just work on what you want to do right now, because I know if that's Diane's brain's working the way mine is. Mine's just like, oh, do a little hill, do, so just do what you can do and
Okay.
enjoy it. Don't stress over it.
Yeah. And I was going to show this to you. This is my code. It's called Risen. I'm putting that in as a coupon code for 15% off any of the digital goodies. Because I felt led to do that since I was generating so many different templates this week. I thought, well, I'm just going to get them out there, and we're all stuck at home. So that would be a way for you to experiment with some of those. And you guys are always welcome to share it in the Facebook group and those comments, or you go directly to the website. And if you have like a sample page on F, then you would go to the Bible Quilt community board under the ABCs, and you find F, and then you go down to that comment section. So anybody else that came into that particular board for F could scroll down and go, oh, there's another idea for F. So that's kind of the way that we can share all of our resources, and anybody can get to that, versus in the Facebook group, some people aren't on Facebook. So I know we tend to hang out on Facebook because we interact back and forth, but the website just has it out there for everybody to see.
Okay. Good idea. Well, Mom will help you get on the website, Livy.
What?
Mom will help you get on the website so you can see the samples. Okay. I'll tell her. Okay.
Yeah, you just want to look under the ABC journal, and I set up a board for every single letter, and then I kind of shared some of mine, and then underneath there, people have begun sharing some of theirs, or they will just write out F is for fear, faint, so they'll give you references maybe, or just a word topic.
Oh, okay.
That way you're not all on your own. We'll help you out.
Yeah.
And so, Barb, you're mainly doing the monthly?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I have the original journal, and somewhere it said that the fruit of the Spirit was in one of the journals, an updated one, but the one that I purchased doesn't have the fruit of the Spirit in. And so I bought the fruit of the Spirit, and then I marked it and punched holes everywhere, and then snipped it and then put it in there. And that's how I put new pages in that other journal.
Okay.
And I work in it not as much as I do the monthly, but I have a page for my granddaughter with verses and things I pray for her about. She's 18. And I did the sew page, which I was so honored you wanted me to put it on the template page, and I did.
Yes.
I did the Red Sea rules.
Yes.
And I wrote them on that sewing page, and I am anything thread, yarn, I love to do. So that was a special page to me. So
yes, it was beautiful. And now I'm getting less than a minute, so we might get cut off, but I've loved touching base with all of you. And I'm glad you guys are experimenting with different things. And that's partly why I set up the monthly, because some people need that chronological. And then the regular journal, when an idea comes to you, you get in there and you do that page. And then it's kind of fun to play with ABCs and have a place for those little snippets of verses to land in kind of an orderly way.
Yeah.
So
Thank you for doing this, Diana.
yes, I'm enjoying it. And I love seeing your faces. And Veronika, thank you so much for hopping on here, even if we couldn't see your sweet face.